everyone, how you doing? Thank you very much for popping by. I do appreciate it. I'm afraid that this video isn't a nice subject at all. It is a bit distressing, but it needs to be said. Now, it's to do with the older version of the songbook that had the illustration of the penis on the back, which was so obvious they changed it. Yep, they've managed to bring back that songbook again, that old version. Now, just in case you're not up to date with that story, I'll do a quick resume of that. For those that are very familiar with it, I'll put a time on your screen as to when the new information starts. Okay, please bear with me on this if it's new to you, because it is important. Okay, to illustrate this, I'm going to show you a video from the YouTuber Dallas Canada, and I'm going to put the link in the description box below this video, so look for that. Also, if this is new to you, look for subliminal images in Jehovah's Witness literature. So if you put that, type that as a search engine. When I first started hearing about subliminal images, I just thought, it's just it's a bit of a bad artist, bit of a mistake. But then there were so many, and some of them are blatant. There's a picture of princes in heaven, and they're all looking normal except one. When you look closer, he's got a grey claw. It's not a hand. There's loads of stuff like that, and they do have very good artists. These artists that Watchtower have, they know what they're doing. These aren't mistakes. This caused a real furore. It was to do with the original version of the songbook. And this video came up in November 2014, because it had caused such a fuss. The Society by 2014 had then put out a new version, and they changed the illustration that people were complaining about. So I'll take you through this. Let's hope it, yeah. So you may have a copy of this. You can look at these things up yourself. So this was, you know this colour in this illustration. Now, this was the revised version. Yeah, this is the revised version. But the original version, now there's a difference. Now he's going to put up a picture side by side so you can see the difference. As I say, I wouldn't have thought on its own, perhaps. I'm going to stop it, pause it there. Now on its own, is that paused? I wouldn't have, I just thought, no, but there's so many of them. Okay, so obviously they've changed. You've got big arrows there showing they've changed. They've taken out the African gentleman, who there was the man and the woman were both seemingly in African garb. They've replaced him with this other guy. You've still got a predominantly sort of Caucasian mix on there, even though that Caucasian people don't make up that proportion of the planet. So some people will find that changing the race of this gentleman, I mean, they've not changed anything else, have they? They might find that suspicious. But I'm going to need to put this on play, because you're not going to be able to see with the play thing on there. Let's see if this will come up. Down with the arrows going down. It's supposed to be his hand and thumb. People noted it looked suspicious. I'm going to go back again. Sorry. I don't really want to. People said it looked suspicious. Okay, and you could think, well, yeah, it's just if you've got a dirty mind, you know. There's also the weird thing. Look where everyone's eye line is. There's either music or is kind of looking ahead as if almost there's a choir master. What's the guy with the suspect hand doing? Look at his eyes. He's looking at the girl. Okay, he's the only one looking at the girl. Now, again, you could say, well, haha, but there's so much of this happening in the literature. Plus, with the paedophile problem, which does exist in Watchtower, and they have the records to prove it. And there's been all the trouble in San Diego with them not releasing those records to a court. Okay. So when they change it, the guy, he's got his eyes more closed. He's still not in the same direction as everyone else, but it could look a bit better. It could. It's on the cusp, isn't it? Is he looking at the girl? Is he looking somewhere else? This time, some people have pointed out with the red clothing behind him, which is redder than on the original, and it's positioned differently. Some people have said it looks like with the new guy, his tongue is like hanging out. So let me play it. And the hand shape has changed. Can you see how you've got the bottom of a calf and it looks like a hand? So they had asked for old literature to be returned, with lots of literature, and there was the new book, and of course since then there's the new grey songbook, isn't there? As they're saying, it matches the colour of the latest Bible, the latest Bible, because there's always seems to be a new version. Okay. And that's, as this was done in 2014. So by 2014, they had solved this problem, asked for people to return the old songbooks. We've even got a new songbook after that. Now let me show you what's happening in 2000. So here we are now at jw.org in the present day. And I want you to see the new original song called Choices. You can see the date this has been released, 11th of January 2018, and you can download it yourself. You can watch it online, as I say, download it. And let's have a look at this. So here's the new video which I've downloaded. I'm going to keep the audio off. You've got the subtitles below anyway. Now, before I get into the real point of it, can anyone figure out what's happening in this video? The first part of it is like a bad music video. It's very confusing. It seems that people are rowing, or are they not rowing? You don't know how anyone is related to anyone. They just seem to be frustrated, and there's these quick shots. No coherent story, no understanding. It is just bland images. And also note how affluent people are in this video. And they're cranking up the affluent in these videos. And weren't J-Dubs always told to keep their eye simple? People who went after the riches of the world would get into trouble for it. Putting in too many hours working, getting an education where you can get a better paid job perhaps. And you look at some of the properties, it's like, excuse me? I think it's insulting to those that are living a simple life because they're believing this. They're going out full-time pioneering and living a very frugal life, and you're showing them a showiness of the world. I think that's insulting. So bear all those things in mind until we get to the real horrible part. So as I say, I'm not using the audio on this. A woman looking out the window in the rain, original. So it took me a few watches to see what's going on here. There's some guy, and he's obviously in a studio, and some entrepreneur has given him the thing, but there's no way of telling that unless you watch it loads of times. Goodness, I never figured out who this guy is. But Oh dear. I think that was the girl who was looking out the window. Is this a dad or is he a pervert? I don't know. It's Ryan Gosling. I don't know what that guy's doing behind. Don't know another guy here. I don't know. Ooh, flash. Look at their house! Ryan Gosling again. Oh, I don't know. Jehovah. Don't know who they are. She's been horrible to him for no reason. We don't know why. It's all very weird. We presumed in the studio. Now, I don't know why he's angry. Look at that house! What? It's obviously been filmed at Anthony Morris's. We can get a tax deduction on it, see? So, anyway, we don't know who he's talking to and why he's upset. It's just ridiculous. They're spending your money on this, guys. Ooh. Or he's hugging a different woman, I don't know. Faith. Okay, we'll get to that. Oh, I don't know who now is all out there looking up. What's that about? So then we goes into all these other people. Happy. Around the world, happy. Okay, playing Noah's Ark. As you do when you're 18. Now, can you see the songbook? We've started to get the songbook coming in. Very distinctive colours. 2018. Now, by the time 2014 had come around, you had the new edition of the songbook plus the grey one. Was at least on its way. The picture could be shown to you of it in 2014. Okay, keep looking for this songbook. Happy. On the table there's one. Now that could be the sort of cleaned up version. We can have a look. Someone may have some video software to. Now here we are. We get a close up on the songbook. You tell me what edition this is. I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if it's the same family. They're jumping around so much. Very strange. Okay, I'm gonna try and pause. Okay. Can you see which version they're using? I can. Now, maybe it's because it's in a different language. Could we give them that perhaps? But then why change it for the UK one? Oh, UK, sorry, the English speaking ones. I went all British dominance there, didn't I? Ho ho. It's a joke. Is it that it's not spread to what was going on with the original, that it didn't spread to all communities around the world? But there it is, and you could have shown the new grey one, guys. Or at least put a cover on it or something. Now, here we are. Now, this is looking more like American-y or Englishy. What do you think they are? But if you look at the songbook, you can see it's that first edition. It's that first edition. Oh, look. There they are. It's the first edition again. Kids holding one of them. They didn't need to show. I mean, the mother in this one is holding a different one. Hers has got like a, after this, she's got a cover on hers, the next bit. So they didn't need to show anything. I guess they want to show, I mean, it's obvious they're singing. Everyone's happy. If you're not happy, you're doing it wrong, obviously. Look really happy. Happy. I can't see if she's got one there. Oh, playing Bible games. Oh, the dress up as Bible things. Whoop-de-doo. So there you have it, the return of the Penis Songbook. And remember that the society is so knowing that that was wrong. They issued new versions, and yet here it is, years later, it's crept in again. So there you have it. I took all the subliminals and things with a pinch of salt. I thought maybe naughtiness was in the eye of the beholder, until this particular illustration was pointed out to me. This is the one that really woke me up to it. Remember this picture? It's Jesus up in heaven, leading the princes with him. There they all are, ready to do business with him, looking very, very Caucasian again, but there you are. So there they are. They've got I don't know what they're doing with these, smiting and smoting, I guess, and ready for action. They're all like it's normal. Hang on. In the circle. Look at that. What is that? You can see this in the original book. Look at this. Hasn't been doctored. Look at that hand. That is a scary, scary hand. Are you telling me that that illustrator that did all that couldn't draw a normal hand? Look at that claw. The colour of it. That is scary. Look at how gnarled and knobbly those fingers are. It's like a horror movie, man. There it was in your books all the time. There he is, right next to Jesus. Wow. You know, we say things openly to your faces, not behind your back. This is all being done behind the faithful's back. People are buying. Faithful have been buying these books, believing them, saying what a lovely gift from Jehovah. What a precious gift. It's not nice. How dare you mock? How dare you mock faithful people like that? Anyway, for anyone this has been new to, I'm sorry. It's probably a shock. But you can see for yourselves. Look it up. And for those that have been aware a long time, they're still at it with that songbook, guys. Thank you for your time and your attention. Keep alert. Keep awake.